Because you're a female, have some money. Because you followed me back.
I'm gonna try to say this as delicately as I possibly can, but money is quite literally the only thing a lot of cishet men bring to the table. No, because really think about it. Most of you guys can't stay faithful. Most of you don't possess emotional intelligence, so women are left doing the emotional labor in the relationship. Most of y'all don't carry your weight when it comes to the housework or the children. And most of you guys can't satisfy women sexually, which means the bulk of your value stems from how much money you make. On top of that, a lot of cishet men don't even like women, so why are we acting like this isn't a two-way street? The same way women will enter relationships with men solely for money is the same way in which men enter relationships with women for consistent sex. Women don't seek out men with money because we're just manipulative users by nature. It's because we see through men, and we know that if we attach ourselves to someone who barely sees us as a person, we may as well be getting something out of it.
So basically what you're hearing is a bunch of feminist babble. Okay, here's a woman trying to explain the reason why women are so quick to ask the man for money or just so money hungry in America. And the first thing that she babbles about is men don't really bring much to the table besides their money. And she says this in a country where men have built the country and have created an environment where she's allowed to do this. She's allowed to think this way. She's allowed to speak this way. Because I got a good feeling that if she was to take this mindset to Afghanistan, she probably wouldn't make it to the end of her video. Then she has in the background while she's talking, she says also, how are you going to blame women for a system that patriarchy put in place? That has nothing to do with you being a money hungry fodder that is just out here for a guy's money. This is new age modern women's mindset. This is what's out here in the world. Then she goes on to talk about most men can't stay faithful. As we all know, men and women are cheating virtually at the same rate. I mean, the women aren't too many points behind the men when it comes to being unfaithful. So I think she missed she missed those facts in that data. She says most men don't possess emotional intelligence. Well, a lot of guys, especially in the black community, don't have that emotional intelligence because they were raised by their mothers. And their mothers were extremely emotional, and their mothers didn't possess emotional intelligence. Their mothers would fly off the handle. They would go 0 to 100. I mean, they would insult a whole group of men who built the country that they lived in. You know what I'm saying? She then wants to go on and say that we don't carry our weight in the house or when it comes to the children. See, this is what feminism has done. This has completely killed the gender roles in their mind. They feel that there shouldn't be any gender roles. They feel that they should work and go to work all day just like we should and come home and everybody shares the responsibility until somebody breaks into the house and wants to kill everybody. Then it's time for you to go out there and die. She doesn't want to have your back in that situation. She'll probably sit there as you bleed out on the floor and cry when she could have stood on business, but she didn't want to do that. Of course not. See, look, this is what feminism does. It destroys the family structure. When this wasn't so potent in the communities, you had women out here following traditional gender roles, and there were more families that you seen, and there was more balance out there. You had women in the household taking care of the children, and the men were out making the money and coming back home. Now, I'm pretty sure she would say that men don't want to do that today. Well, you wouldn't see a lot of men wanting to do that with women like her, because her mindset is completely repulsive. No man wants to come home to a woman who thinks like this. I promise you. Then she goes on after that and talks about how men cannot satisfy women sexually. You know, that was a low blow. She's saying that because obviously she's in her feelings about something. This is a topic that is pretty much triggering to her. I'm pretty sure when the guy in the beginning was talking about women just wanting money out of a man, and I'm pretty sure she's kind of always getting left high and dry. Let's be honest. Who's going to stick around for this girl? Who's going to stick around? Like, I mean, literally, you going to deal with this every day, all day, this woman talking to you crazy like this? No. That was a low blow. You know, when women get upset with you, that's the first thing that they say. They say your piece is small, you're bad in bed, all that. So you could tell she's in her feelings. After that, she goes on and says, well, since you can't satisfy me sexually, the bulk of your value stems from how much money you make. She drives on roads that men fix every day. She flies on planes that men build and fix. When she goes to wash her face in the morning time, when that water comes out the sink, that was purified and brought to her house by the system that men have created. Heck, I mean, even when she uses the bathroom, you got to thank a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is new age feminism. This is what this is how modern women think. And it's just sad, and it's almost sad for them because they're so delusional. Then she says, like, I think it's cishat or something. I don't know, some type of abbreviation that the LGBT community gives, I guess, heterosexual men. She goes on to say, but they don't even like women. Like, what? What? Simply because, I guarantee you she feels that way, simply because this feminism that she's been indoctrinated with doesn't sit very well with a lot of heterosexual men. It just doesn't. So she says, oh, they don't even like us because they just don't do what we say. And then she goes on to talk about getting relationships with women simply for consistent sex. In some cases, I wouldn't disagree with her there. There's some cases where I'm sure there is a mutual agreement. I mean, you know, because, you know, women out here, they're very smart, right? They have degrees and everything. If you met a guy at a club, he took you home and y'all had fun together, and he never calls you only when he wants to have some playtime with you, I'm pretty sure you would know that you're just in a physical situation. It's not anything serious. You would think that women would understand that since they have so much more emotional intelligence and they're so much more intelligent, right? They would be able to see that, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm lost there. Another thing that she goes on to say is that the reason why women are asking guys for money, it's not because they're just manipulative and they're greedy by nature. She says it's because they see through men, and when they get in a relationship with a man who doesn't even like them, quotes, and they don't even see her as a person, they make sure that they actually get something out the relationship since they're going to be used. They do that because they can see through all of the BS, basically is what she's saying. Then I have to ask the question, why is there so many children born out of wedlock? Why is there so many single mothers if y'all can see through all of this? Why? I mean, because in this system that we have here, you have the right to choose, don't you? Since you've seen through the BS, you have a right to choose what to do with the child. But they still choose to keep the child, right? So if you can see through all of the BS, why do you consistently and continuously see women choose bad every single day? I think this lady just woke up and got on her feminist, man-bashing, man-hating soapbox and wanted to give this little spiel after she seen that guy say something that triggered her, because it was the truth. And she wanted to come out here and spew some toxicity. But, you know, it's not helping their case, and it's not really helping them. I mean, the women are the ones who end up stressed out. You're on all this medication. Family structure is horrible. You create broken families because you choose bad. Because like she said, the women can see through the BS. So you can't say that she got duped into choosing the bad guy. She can see through the BS and she chose him anyway. And she had his child, right? You're choosing to build a family on a quicksand foundation. You got to do some self-analyzation. You got to look in the mirror, ladies. You got to look in the mirror. And that's all I gotta say about that. It's that guy, Big Soji, Not Useless Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notification, and we out.